Hello, boss. I play less with the 2-page top, so what I said is right. Please bear with me. The 2 pages I played before. If it is this kind of thicker, shorter, then the feel of its death flip is actually not very obvious. If it is thinner and longer, so in fact what we are playing with is its very strong sense of death flipping. But our work is a little longer, and then there is such a thicker one. In other words, it actually takes into account a certain death flip feel. At the same time, the slowdown is not so obvious. I think it's a feature of this top. And then the second point, in fact, it may feel a little ugly at first glance, right? Because now everyone looks at this kind of curved curve, more spinning tops. Will this kind of large right angle and large straight line not be very comfortable? At first, before I got the physical object, I also think that it is not a singer when it fluctuates. But when I get it, I will find out, there are a lot of chamfers, including the entire surface. In fact, this treatment is quite good, especially the spinning tops of the past. We sent a little, but in fact it was all on this side corner, right? That's how they exert their efforts. But what about this top? I found that it is the first on both sides, then gradually rise to the middle. There is a process of slope. It only means that we can rub the surface with all our strength. You don't have to look for this corner and find the edge like before. You can also rub this surface directly. And I think I chose this Taihe gold sample in the first place. Why? The finger strength of human fingers is limited. If it is too heavy, we will definitely not be able to get up at its initial speed. If the rotation speed can't get up, when we feel the death flip, it may not be so obvious. And it is precisely this kind of thickness, but at the same time it is relatively light. Our initial drilling speed can be raised. In this way, you can also experience a feature of this gyroscope. What about the surface treatment? At first, I thought it might be that we were doing an indirect color. It will look a little better. But I had a thought, because it is a very tough guy, a straight line of industrial style. Then doing this color may feel a little so nondescript. But I think we can put some effort into the surface treatment, right? Because after all, it has a lot of depressions and bulges, and we can use this. For example, the effect of polishing and spraying brakes. Come and embody this kind of visual different textures, for example, we do a polishing on the side as a whole, right? And then, on the surface, because it is a force point, so leave a spray yarn. And then if it's in the gap, let's polish it too. Of course, this kind of thing, in terms of public welfare, there may be some difficulties. But in terms of appearance, I think there may be a certain improvement. And finally, let's talk about this lock. Yes, the depression is indeed relatively large. If you stick to the stone, you should be full of security. But I think this opponent is relatively high. I won't record a paragraph. What about many brands of bearings? The standard equipment from the factory is a star gold-plated bearing that comes with money. But the new Jigang product is standard from the factory. It is this bearing that is said to cost more than 10 yuan. It can be seen that it is 10 silicon nitride strains, plus a single-layer stainless steel cage. The bearing of this structure is relatively silky when rotating. And it is said that before shipping, the Julie people will pass one by one every spinning top to ensure that this Zhouqing sword Maru family hand is flawless. Later, let's put the lock on and see how it feels. This is when the titanium alloy main body titanium alloy lock is flipped. This vibration is still very obvious and very cool. And because of these stripes on the surface, the force points are very comfortable. Even if you are sweaty, it will not slip. The start speed is fast, so the vibration is very noticeable. Let's take a look at the high alloy with PEI lock. This bearing is still a little noisy. Therefore, the PI lock can amplify this noisy sound to the extreme. Very cool. In fact, what we play with the two-leaf top is the ultimate vibration of death flip. Specific spinning top parameters and sales information. I put it here. The price is still very conscientious. If you are interested, it is recommended that you do not hesitate to rush directly. Finally, thank you to the bamboo people for providing 3 materials of steel too high. The new steel is placed in my fan base, and the flow is very atmospheric. More brands are also welcome to join us in this rafting event. Let more players experience our product. Neither is it. What is the shape or feel? So what if you have friends who also want to participate in rafting activities? You can focus on it first. In my profile on my homepage, after you can see my micro number and add me, then I can pull you into the fan base. Pay attention to the acquisition recommendation, tell you not to spend money. See you in the next issue.